Welcome to Climate Change with Scott Amyx. I'm your host, Scott, and today I'm joined by Sky Gilbar, who is the CEO of Hitch. Welcome.
Hi.
So, Sky, what is Hitch?
So Hitch is a water bottle, like most water bottles you've seen, double-walled, stainless steel, insulated. But it also has a secret, which is there is a coffee cup that you can use anywhere you want that's actually integrated into the bottom of the bottle. You can take it out. And so the idea was that a lot of us carry a water bottle, but we don't really want to carry a cup. And there are many reasons for that we can talk about. This allows you to have your bottle and the cup that's always with you wherever you go.
Okay. Now, kind of backing up a little bit, this isn't your first startup. You've had other startups before. So why did you kind of fall into this particular product and concept? Because you've also consulted to many brands as well. What kind of gave you the critical mass of, experience and thought to say, this is something that the market really needs?
Well, like many products that come to market, this one came from need. So personal need, should I say. This was a problem that I actually had in my life, which I had like 5 reusable cups at home, and they just never seemed to be with me, and a water bottle, and I would use, paper cups at the coffee shop, and I was like, someone must have made a really cool thing that I can carry this together, and started looking at thermoses and all this other stuff, and it just wasn't really built for like an everyday carry lifestyle. So I realized there wasn't anything like it and started tinkering around with design ideas, came up with a couple I thought interesting ones, vetted them, and said, this looks like an opportunity, and started talking to friends, an engineer friend, David, my current co-founder, just organically realizing that there was something here. And from there, starting the process of prototyping and exploring with potential customers if it was something other people wanted. So it just kind of happened from need.
Interesting. Now, you may think that this next question is unrelated, but my understanding is you have twins, right? That are about 9 months old?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know, having had 2 kids, they're much older now, but twins especially, I would imagine you're don't have enough hands to go around. Is that a fair statement?
Just enough hands, maybe. But
Okay.
yes, I'm with you there on the thought.
So,
Yeah.
so this notion of all-in-one compact water bottle coffee cup, in that context, actually starts to make a little bit more sense, right?
Sure. It's funny you're connecting those two things. I hadn't connected those two things, but now that you say it, perhaps there was something there, right? Like perhaps that was part of the thought process. It's interesting. My wife was one of the people that was like very supportive of the idea, because she was, even before the babies came, she was already thinking like, how am I going to carry everything? So she loved that where we were going with it. But carrying things, it suddenly takes on making things easy to carry suddenly takes on a different type of importance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I remember when my wife was taking care of the younger ones when they were little, she would have her purse, and on top of that, the baby, I don't know, baby bag, I guess. And we would just about stick everything in there: food, snacks, water, diapers, you name it. And after a while, it just got so large, and we wish we could make it compact. So that desire, I think, from parents is definitely there. Now, conversely, though, you did mention that there are lots of thermos, and of course, those thermos have the top cap that serve as a cup. Why is that insufficient?
Well, we started from the position of like, if you're on a college campus or you're in a city or you're commuting and you go to a coffee shop or make coffee at home, you need a solution that fits into that lifestyle, which means the coffee cup needs to be insulated to keep coffee warm. It needs to be large enough, like 12 ounces and above. Should probably have a lid on the coffee cup so you can drink it while you're walking. So that's kind of a minimum requirement to just fit into your life. Same with a water bottle. Needs to be, can't be like 6 ounces. It needs to be a real bottle. Should be able to get to the water easily, not be blocked. So just looking at what we would want or other people would want to just have, thermos isn't really it. It's great for camping. It's great for bringing soup somewhere. But, a thermos cup is like usually 8 ounces, single walled, no lid, right? If you're drinking water 30 or 40 times a day, you're constantly having 2 caps to deal with. So it just isn't really aligned with people's, need for coffee and water carry every day.
Okay. At the time of this recording, you're running a Kickstarter campaign. I believe it when we last checked, it was around almost 700,000 in crowdfunding.
Mhm.
Curious about your experience because I think it used to be that if you had a great idea, a project, you could potentially raise some money on crowdfunding sites. Now, these days, in order to actually do fairly well, it actually takes a lot of capital to begin with. So sometimes you're spending almost 1.5 times or 2 times what you actually raise in terms of ad spend. What's been your experience with crowdfunding?
Well, we have two advisors that have done a couple of successful campaigns. They really helped us figure out the strategy here because David and I, neither of us had done it, even though we have experience in product and supply chain. Uh, we ended up raising a small amount of money just for product development, engineering, marketing, video, all that stuff. One way we were able to get the numbers was we did a really effective pre-launch campaign. So we put a lot of content on Facebook and Instagram, said, hey, this is products coming. If this is something you want, click here, put your email in. We'll email you when we launch. And that was actually quite cost effective. We just optimized the ads and the audiences. And so we had a big list, and that list converted really well. So day one, day two, day three, we were like at 100 grand pretty fast. Once that happens, things start to build momentum on top of that. Then we introduced some paid ads through our partner and some other like newsletters and things like that. And they've been working, and sort of maybe the nature of this product, maybe other creators have more success or less success. I don't know. But the video ads that we're using, especially showing the cup coming out, which is a really interesting moment in the product use, tend to convert really well. So, we're happy we're not spending any kind of multiple of what we raise or anything like that.
Great. I noticed that your Kickstarter video really is probably one of the best assets that I've seen, where it plays on the humor that appeals to millennials and Gen Zers. And I remember interviewing an agency that specializes in these types of humorous informational videos that have the sales methodology built into the video for maximum conversion. So curious to know, what was the thought process behind the video, and are you happy with the execution, and are you seeing the kinds of conversion?
We're very happy with the video. The response we get is overwhelmingly amazing. Because it's satirical and witty, 95% of people love it. 5% of people say, I hate it. That's a good thing. You have something that's really working. People tend to love it or hate it. The conversion rate's awesome. The rate of views to conversion is awesome. The idea with this was that we actually thought the way that we carry stuff is comical. Like it just is. Like the way we're struggling in life with this stuff is comical, and it's so relatable because if you own a reusable or have a paper cup and a reusable, you've experienced all of these things. So if we can make it funny, then we can laugh at it together. We knew that would work. That's one spark of it, right? But then how do you create a story and get an actor and make it funny? That was probably a bit of a collaboration more than anything with the director and the actor. But we had the story idea, we had the sort of beats of it linked up, and then working together with them, we found great little dialogue moments in there.
Well, I don't have a great sense of humor, but I found it funny.
That's good, then it worked. Yeah.
Um, Now, why are millennials obsessed with high-end expensive water bottles like Swell, Yeti, Sig, Hydro Flask, and BKR?
I'm not sure I can answer the whole big why. I think there's something that happens where somehow it gets in the culture that the water bottle is like the thing to carry for practical reasons to hydrate more often, but also at some point when everyone else is doing it, or you think everyone else is doing it, or it's important, you want a good one. And then you want the brand that is the cool one. And then you want, the one that has the color that represents you. And it starts to become a personal object. And so I think it's just at that level. Also, we've talked to some high school students and college students for whom they've had water bottles since they were like little kids, and so the water bottle is just a personal item. And one thought that we've been playing with is it's like one of the few things that is a sort of a totem. Like it's on you all the time, right? It's visible with you in your hand wherever you go around your friends. And so the color, the brand, the stickers you put on it, all those things say something, like maybe a backpack used to or whatever. And so in that sense, it takes on a lot of importance. And the brands matter, as like Visco Girls and Hydro Flask, and there's all these connections to brands and subcultures, certain bottle brands, and it's just become ubiquitous. So it's amazing to us that it's that sort of a much part of the culture as it is.
Well, I'm still stuck on the fact that they grew up with water bottles. Now they just kind of upgraded. I want to kind of echo what you said is, according to research, they're driven by sustainability reasons, but also vanity. One of the quotes reads, "As I move up in my career, I'm upgrading my wardrobe, and the bottle that looked like a camping accessory really didn't serve my purpose anymore." And sure enough, that's exactly what you're referring to, is this notion that bottle is not just a bottle, it's actually representing who they are as an individual and their personal brand. Now, let me ask a very serious question, which is, again, it's one thing if they have one bottle, but if they're collecting bottles, are they really, are we really solving the climate change crisis with reusable water bottles?
That's a tough question to answer straight on. I can't speak to that, how people use these things. I would say that if you are moving from using a lot of disposable bottles to using a reusable primarily, by most metrics, that's more sustainable, right? If you're buying 50 bottles or 100 bottles, I suppose there's some line, right, where it becomes negligible. But I don't really have the data if people are buying like 5 or 6. I mean, I hear that, but most people I know have like 1 or 2. So we focus on that. And with the reusable cup, that's one thing we really talk about in the video, is that the paper cup actually has quite a high environmental footprint. And the awareness of that isn't that high because we surveyed a lot of people about that. And we think that if you can switch to a reusable every day, there will be a really big impact there.
And on a even more serious question that I have for you is, your product is a combination of for water and coffee, but do you foresee that people are going to be substituting like coffee with something else like alcohol? And is this going to increase alcoholism?
I don't know. We've gotten some really interesting comments from people who have like the most interesting use cases. Like a mom was like, "I want to use the bottle for my water and the cup for my kids, so I can give them water like when we're at the beach." Stuff like we never really thought about. I think we got one saying, yeah, they want to use it to mix drinks. But for the most part, 99.9% of people who see this are like, I go to the coffee shop or make coffee at home. I need water on the go. This is totally for me. I get this product. So yeah, there'll be some interesting cases.
So on that note, we've been joined by Sky Gilbar, who is the CEO of Hitch. I want to wish you the very best with your Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign.
Thanks, Scott.